What is up, beautiful people? Welcome back to the Made to Excel Fitness Podcast, the fitness podcast for you, by you. I'm your host, as always, Mark Torres, and in today's episode 22, it's Marky, Mark, and the PHONY bunch. We've got a packed Made to Excel Fitness of University of Hard Knocks of Common Sense, and as always, the weekly follow-up. Let's talk about it all. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Made to Excel Fitness Podcast. It is Monday, August 3rd. Literally came straight from the golf course to record this episode. I shot meh. Now that you guys care what I shot, but I shot meh. Can't believe it's already August. We are officially over halfway through the year of 2020, and I know some of you guys are in the boat of 2020 is dragging by, but I'm actually on the opposite, and I think 2020 is flying by. It's already August. I don't even remember the month of June this year. What was I doing in June? The same shit I was doing in March, April, and May. So everything's kind of blending together. We're flying through the year, but regardless, I want to hop right into it because we have a packed episode today. The title of the episode, obviously, you got to this point, is Marky, Mark, and the PHONY bunch. Obviously in reference to Mark Wahlberg. And if you don't know who Mark Wahlberg is, you live under a rock more than likely. Obviously former Calvin Klein model, former rapper slash frontman for Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, the 1.5 hit wonders, A-list actor, right? Some of his acting credits are Lone Survivor, Ted, The Departed, The Fighter, Patriots Day, Deepwater Horizon, Daddy's Home, Spencer Confidential, Pain and Gain, Transformers, and The Other Guys. Now, this is a hill that I'm ready to die on. The Other Guys is a trash movie, and I probably just lost one of my 5 subscribers, but such is life. I hate that movie. And obviously, Mark Wahlberg is a serial entrepreneur. He's got his dealership. He's got Wahlburgers. He's got F45 training, performance-inspired nutrition. He's got Aqua Hydrate. And, of course, he's probably got many other sponsorship deals where he's not necessarily part of the company itself, but he gets paid by the company to promote their products. So today's episode is about a specific post that Mark Wahlberg made. And now Mark Wahlberg is kind of one of those people who is in the same vein of like a Zac Efron or The Rock, where a lot of their persona is very heavily focused on fitness, right? And Chris Hemsworth is kind of in that fold a little bit, but not as much fitness centered as these guys. You know, Zac Efron's known for his physique. The Rock is always posting videos from the Iron Paradise, and Marky Mark is very much so very similar, right? 95% of his Instagram is in his gym. So he made this post on July 14th, and it's obviously August, so I missed it the first time. Sometimes I scroll through Instagram really quickly. And it wasn't until I came across this article, and the article said, watch Mark Wahlberg do bizarre workouts. And I was like, I'm absolutely going to watch that video, right? I'm a huge Mark Wahlberg fan. Obviously, my name being Mark, I've been called Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, or Marky Mark, for the entirety of my life, so I have sort of a connection with Mark Wahlberg. So I was definitely intrigued, and I watched the video, and the whole time I'm like, ding, 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 podcast episode. So without further ado, this is the video that Mark Wahlberg posted on July 14th on his Instagram page.
We got Mark here doing a single leg push-up on the Swiss ball. He's using the perfect push-ups, and he's got the Be Strong blood resistance ties on his arms. Absolutely killing it on the power plate.
Oh, I tell you what, if you need 2 pieces of equipment to really get it done, between blood flow resistance, the Be Strong straps for your arms and your legs, and this power plate right here, best piece of equipment that I own. I've had this forever. I got the new one coming, but you can literally do anything and everything. Working on this, cut your workout time in half, cut your recovery time in half, and you get way more gains. I like the shirt, Jen.
Thank you.
And everybody wonders why I'm so amped up. We already finished the workout at 4 in the morning. It's that performance-inspired pre-workout igniter. We're back. Stellar's closed. We're back to work. Inspired to be better.
So obviously for you guys watching on the YouTube channel, you were able to watch the video, but obviously a podcast being a majority audio-only platform, some of you guys listening on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts and wherever you get your podcasts weren't able to watch the video, so I'm going to try to explain it as best as possible. The gist of the video is that Mark Wahlberg, first and foremost, he's got these things around his arms. They're blood flow restriction cuffs. And I'm not going to talk about blood flow restriction training in today's podcast. That is definitely going to be an episode going into the future. But he has two like cuffs around his upper arms. Those are blood flow restriction training wraps or cuffs, whatever that particular company calls them. And he's doing half rep push-ups, the top half of the push-up on this thing called the power plate. And at the same time, he's simultaneously balancing one foot on an exercise ball or a Swiss ball, and then he, talks a bunch at the end. So there's a lot to dissect in this particular video, right? First and foremost, the first thing I noticed is that the girl talking in this video, I'm assuming is one of his trainers. He's got many trainers, I'm assuming. And she's extremely awkward. And I love the fact that she's extremely awkward because that would be me 100%. If I was in a video like this. And then going forward, from here on out, I'm going to preface this by saying I don't know Mark Wahlberg personally. I don't know his circumstances. I don't know his injury history. I don't know his training history. I don't know his habits and things of that nature. Obviously, I might not ever get the chance to ever meet him once he inevitably sees the title of this podcast, Marky, Mark, and the Phony Bunch. But I don't know Mark Wahlberg personally, so everything that I say from here on out is going to be purely speculation. So the second thing that I noticed is that Mark Wahlberg is doing like half reps on the power plate. And he's doing pretty much the top half of a push-up. So he's going about halfway down and he's going back up to lockout. Now, I don't know if the trainers are trying to do something like increase the time under tension. So if you do a push-up and you go all the way to the floor, you lose tension at the bottom, and you go all the way to the top and you lock out, you lose tension there. So it's possible that some of these trainers might try to have you do kind of the middle part of a workout in order to increase the tension. And I don't know that that's necessarily the case here because he's doing the top half where he's going halfway down, but he's still locking out at the top. So he might still be losing a little bit of tension at the top. I think what's more than likely is the fact that Mark Wahlberg, I believe I've seen in a video prior, that he had a shoulder injury. So it's probably possible that Mark Wahlberg's not going all the way down because he can aggravate his shoulder. That's just purely speculation, like I said. And if you are a healthy person and you don't have any injuries, you can totally do a full range of motion, right? You can get more muscle stimulation with a full range of motion versus a shortened range of motion like Mark Wahlberg is doing. But I think he's doing it probably to try to avoid some pain, and that's totally fine, and that's totally something that you should be doing going forward, trying to avoid pain in the gym as much as possible. Whoever said no pain, no gain is a fucking dipshit, so don't listen to them. You want to avoid pain. Pain is your body's way of saying there's something wrong. Check me out, right? It's like the check engine light of the body is pain. So I think that's probably what's going on there. Obviously, he's doing these push-ups, balancing one foot on an exercise/Swiss ball. And if you've been around these parts for a while, you know I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of exercise balls, Swiss balls, interchangeable terms. If somebody wants to do specific core training, which I don't do a lot of with clients because you get a lot of core training in other ways, but if they want to do specific core training, we'll absolutely do that. And I definitely love to use the exercise/Swiss ball in that medium. It totally makes sense. But I would never, ever, ever have anybody stand on a Swiss ball with both of their feet. The odds of you getting hurt, the risk-reward scenario there is so much heavier on the risk side than it is the reward side. It's an exercise that doesn't make sense to do, right? And that's where I got my first hater, was I was talking shit about the Swiss ball and people who stand on it, because if you fall off that Swiss ball, there's a really, really good chance that you get hurt, right? Some people are agile enough to kind of fall gracefully and fall to their feet. But if you try to put a complete beginner on there and they crack their face on a railing somewhere, then you're in for a world of trouble. So I never tell people to stand on a Swiss ball, and I don't like when I see people do it. But in this case, Mark Wahlberg just has one foot on a Swiss ball. So the odds of him getting hurt are pretty small, right? It's just if he falls, his foot falls to the ground, and his toes might hurt, but he's wearing shoes and he'll be okay. So I think in that scenario, the risk reward is still in his favor, I guess, but it's probably unnecessary that he's doing the push-ups and the balancing for the core at the same time. I think Mark Wahlberg's just a busy guy. He's trying to get as much in as possible in one shot, so he's trying to combine everything together, and that's not necessarily necessary for you to do. So if you're watching this, you're like, that's a really good idea, that's a really good exercise. Not necessarily, right? You can absolutely do those things separately, focus on them separately. It doesn't have to be together. But the most important thing in this video that I wanted to talk about was the power plate. So Mark Wahlberg is doing push-ups on a power plate. Obviously, if you saw the video, you know what the power plate looks like. If you have not seen the video, the power plate is kind of just this oval platform, and it's got this big stand for a monitor, and pretty much just a power plate is just a vibrating plate, and he's doing the push-ups on a vibrating plate. And at the end, he talks about you can get a full workout in half the time, you can recover in half the time, you get more gains and things of that nature. And when I went to do my internship for college, the gym that I went to had 2 power plates. Never seen them before. They were completely foreign to me, and the head of the fitness department at this particular internship was really pushing them a lot for like warm up and recovery stuff, never for actually working out like Mark Wahlberg is doing in this video. But I was curious, right? So I saw this video, I was like, let me look into it. So I went to powerplate.com just to see what it's all about, and this is directly from their website, the benefits of using the power plate. First one, power plate can help you lose weight. Significant weight loss is often reported by those who use power plate regularly in conjunction with a healthy calorie-controlled diet. Yeah, no shit, that's how you lose weight, is you control your calories. It has nothing to do with the power plate. One of the reasons for this is increased lymphatic flow. Research also shows that when used as part of an active lifestyle, power plate may have a significant impact upon the reduction of cellulite and body fat. This may occur due to increase in metabolism, both during and following exercise. Now, the whole way that they word this is very funny, right? You can lose weight using a power plate if you have a calorie-controlled diet and you live a healthy lifestyle. Yeah, no shit, you can do all that without the power plate. That's what you need to live a healthy lifestyle that can help you lose weight. So the power plate in this equation has nothing to do with anything. Does it increase your metabolism? I'm not sure, but I have a whole episode on metabolism. If it increases your metabolism, it's probably not by a lot. Whether or not it actually reduces cellulite, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the cosmetic effects of the power plate, but yeah, you're going to lose weight if you have a calorie-controlled diet and you're active. Has nothing to do with the power plate itself. Next, power plate accelerates your training. Many traditional exercises can be done on the power plate, and the results are magnified. It's thanks to our proprietary precision wave technology, which is engineered precisely to activate the body's natural reflexive response to vibration. This surface vibrates 25 to 50 times per second, resulting in a natural response that works your muscles harder while doing the same exercise. So this is kind of what Mark Wahlberg alluded to when he was talking about doing the same amount of work in half the time. So pretty much what power plate is saying is that when you have your vibration, it's pretty much creating an unstable surface. And when you have an unstable surface, your muscles have to work harder to stabilize yourself, right? You don't want to fall off. The vibration is shaking you all over the place, and you're trying to stabilize yourself. So you're using extra muscles, or you're activating extra muscles. And it's kind of like standing on a stability ball. You are an unstable surface, so you want to create stability with your body. I don't like standing on a medicine ball or on a exercise Swiss ball. So that doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like if you were to do a bench press with a regular barbell, a metal barbell that's very rigid. Imagine you're doing the motion and the bar stays completely straight the whole time. The weights are never going to move on you. It's a very stable surface. And then imagine there's this thing called an earthquake bar. And probably most of you guys, 95% of you guys listening to the show don't know what an earthquake bar is, because you'd never find them anywhere. But it's a barbell, but it's very, it's not rigid. It has a lot of movement. So the weights are not still when you're doing a bench press. So imagine you're bringing the weight down and the weights are wobbling on the side. You bring them up and the weights are wobbling on the side, and it's wobbling side to side. So you're creating an instability with the bar that you don't have with a regular barbell. The regular barbell is very stable itself, but the earthquake bar is very unstable, so you're forcing yourself to stabilize a weight. And there's a reason why you don't see these at every gym, because they're not necessary. If you want to be a better bench presser, then yeah, you can work with an earthquake bar, and you can go to a specific gym for that, a specific like powerlifting gym or strongman gym, things of that nature. For most people, you don't need to try to use instability training in this way. So I see what Mark Wahlberg is saying. Mark Wahlberg is a 49-year-old man. His body probably doesn't do the things that it used to do when he was 20, 25 years old. So he's trying to find ways to compact his workout as much as possible. And he's a busy guy, obviously. So trying to do less and get the same amount, if not more. So Power Plate is saying this. It makes sense in theory, but let's move on. Increase your strength and flexibility. The power plate vibrates up and down, side to side, and front to back, destabilizing the body and promoting the reflexive engagement of soft tissue. Involuntary muscle activity promotes quick reflexive responses in muscle fibers and an increase in circulation. That means development in whole body balance, mobility and stability, strength and motor control in a shorter time frame with traditional methods. So they pretty much just reiterated the last point, pretty much just reiterated what Mark Wahlberg said, trying to get a lot more muscle activation in a shorter period of time. You'll recover faster. Exercises stress and the body needs time to rebuild to positively adapt to training. Massage on a power plate stimulates lymphatic flush, eases pain, promotes faster recovery of damaged muscles and tendons, improves joint function, and helps you return stronger, all in only a few minutes a day. And even beyond that, you can exercise using a power plate with less chance of strain due to the patented multi-directional vibration. With regular use, you'll find that you prepare faster, perform better, and recover quicker. And then the last point that they make is experience a complete workout in just 15 minutes. Whole body vibration training. You get a complete full body workout incorporating stretch, balance, core, strength building, and massage, all in as little as 15 minutes per day, right? So Power Plate is really promoting and pushing this idea that you can get a lot done in a short period of time. And obviously, as a company, that is a message that you want to get out to your consumer as much as possible, right? That's what Mark Wahlberg is all in for. He can get the same amount of work, if not more work, in a shorter period of time. Like I said, he's 49 years old. He's a busy guy. He's trying to get a lot in to a 24-hour period, a lot of which is already taken up. So he doesn't have a ton of time to probably work out. So all these claims are being made. You can lose weight using a power plate, but you have to be on a calorie-controlled diet and you have to be physically active. You can get a good workout, a same workout, if not more, in a shorter period of time, and it'll help you recover quicker and things of that nature. But if you do a Google search and you look up power plate research, or just even vibration machine research, you will see that at best, there's an inconclusive conclusion. That's redundant. The research out there is neither positive nor negative, right? There's not a significant enough difference in somebody who trains on a power plate versus trains regularly, in strength, performance, muscle, and power, right? All these things are kind of negligible. It's very similar between the two sets of people, right? Whether or not it can take a workout and shrink down the time a little bit, that remains to be seen. But it's not like people on a power plate are stronger than people that don't use a power plate. And you know, vibration machines have been around for a long time, right? Back in the day, I don't know if this is even like 70s, 80s, maybe 90s. I could be completely wrong, but there used to be a machine where like you have this belt that wraps around your back and it's attached to a machine and it shakes you. It's vibrating the whole time. There's a reason you don't see those machines anymore, because they don't work. They don't do anything. So this is very much so in that same vein. But one thing to consider is that Mark Wahlberg has always been kind of an unconventional exerciser, right? He does a lot of combined movements that I wouldn't necessarily have anybody do unless they had a really strict time constriction, which he might have. But he's a very unconventional trainer, and if for him that feels like it works, and obviously he has a great physique and he's happy with the way he's training right now, then there's no reason for him to change. And I'm not saying this because I think people are going to go out and buy a power plate, because a power plate is like anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000. I think those are used, so the new power plates might be even more. But I say that because this is just another example of an influencer, somebody with a big audience, promoting a product that maybe is not necessary for anybody to get, right? I talked about The Rock a few episodes back where he started promoting supplements. And he has millions and millions and millions of followers around the world. And inevitably, somebody bought supplements because The Rock told them to buy supplements. They didn't need the supplements more than likely, but they bought it because The Rock said so. I don't think anybody's going to go and buy a power plate unless you're filthy rich. But it's just another instance of somebody promoting something that's maybe unnecessary for the consumer, right? A power plate's super expensive, but something like a fit tee that the Kardashians are infamous for. They're going to push fit tees all the time. Those are inexpensive things that don't work, and I'm sure that these companies have made millions of dollars sponsoring posts through these big influencers, because if they hadn't, they wouldn't pay it in the first place, right? I'm sure Kim Kardashian charges a lot of money for one sponsored post, so these companies are obviously making money. So, Does it work for Mark Wahlberg? Yeah, he's got a great physique, right? It works for him. He's happy. That's perfectly fine. But for you, not necessary, right? And the other thing to think about is when you're going through these things, right? Mark Wahlberg is a businessman. Obviously, at the beginning, I talked about all his entrepreneurial endeavors, right? But in this particular video by itself, if you look at the caption, it says best results, best gains using Be Strong and Power Plates USA at Municipal. So he has 3 company mentions in the description itself, and then he talks about his performance-inspired pre-workout in the video. So that's at least 4 sponsorships in one video, right? So I don't know if he has a vested interest in Power Plates, that they paid him to talk about it, or they said, hey, Mark, we're going to send you a free Power Plate if you just give us a shout out on Instagram. And that might be it. So it's a little bit misleading. I want you guys to be really savvy fitness consumers. And obviously, if you watch this show pretty extensively, if you listen to the show pretty extensively, you're definitely ahead of the curve when it comes to that, right? So for Mark Wahlberg to say, if you only need 2 pieces of equipment, one is his blood flow restriction wraps, and the second is a power plate. You don't want like dumbbells, you don't want kettlebells, you don't want barbells. All those things actually make a difference. The power plate, probably not necessarily. And I'll talk about blood flow restriction in the future. But that wraps up the Marky Mark portion of the show. I'm sad to see it go. But class is in session. We are back with the Made to Excel Fitness University of Hard Knocks of Common Sense. Mark Torres, Made to Excel Fitness University of Hard Knocks of Common Sense. By the way, before I start, if you guys are looking at the title of this and it says MTEFUOHKOCS, that is Made to Excel Fitness University of Hard Knocks of Common Sense. If I were to write that all out, this would be the longest title in all of history. So when you see all those letters, those mumbo jumbo letters, that's what that means. But there's a lot of things on the syllabus. I'm not going to get to them all today. I'll probably get to 2 of them, but this is a long laundry list. I've been keeping notes. But the first thing on the syllabus today is the first episode that I did, Made to Excel Fitness University of Hard Knocks of Common Sense. I talked about a specific product that was going around Facebook, and it was being published by people that I knew. It's a weight loss product, and these people that were selling this weight loss product had nothing to do with fitness, and it was getting a lot of traction. People were saying, I'm interested, I want to buy it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to say the name of the product. I'm not going to say the name of the person, but a lot of people have said that they were interested. And every time I see it, even still now, that was a few weeks back, and they're still posting about it, they still get comments. And I don't know exactly for sure how many of these people actually end up spending money with this person, but I'm assuming it's got to be at least one. And like I said just 2 minutes ago, not everybody can be a savvy fitness consumer, right? Not everybody's a personal trainer. Not everybody has a background in fitness. Not everybody listens to the show to know what they're getting into, and that's perfectly fine. Not everybody's going to be just a genius in every single aspect of life. So I don't expect everybody to just be on point when it comes to consuming fitness in a smart manner, right? But the thing that's a little bit puzzling on my side is the fact that this particular product that this person is selling, the name is out there, right? And if you Google the name, if you go 4 search results down, you get a link to Amazon. And this particular product is sold on Amazon. And if you look at it, it's got a 3.7 out of 5 stars, which actually isn't bad. But when you actually go down to start to read some of the reviews, it says, taste is meh, wasted money, wouldn't buy again, not too good. So 3, 4 1-star reviews off the bat. And then we have a good review, right? Tastes so good. Pricey, but it lasted a while. Shipping was faster than expected. Got my desired results. My skin looks amazing. Cellulite is disappearing. So worth the money. So you have 1 positive review there. And then again, does not work. Waste of money. But the most interesting review here is a 5-star review. It says it works. It says don't pay attention to the negative reviews because they stop using. It takes a while for it to work, but once it starts working, it works wonderfully. Please buy directly from the website because I had a friend buy from here and the product was switched. Now, if that is not a person who works for this particular company that made an Amazon account just to review this product, I don't know what is. That is a clear cut, hey, this product works, but definitely get it from the actual source. This person is probably an ambassador for this product. Now, obviously, it's very easy to Google these things. If you go back to the search page and you go 2 more down, there's another review page, and this thing has a 1.8 out of 5 stars. So it's obviously people are not very happy with it. So it's kind of like confounded. It's kind of fucking up the idea of you get what you pay for, right? If you go to the dollar store, you go to Five Below and you get something, and it's cheap. It's anywhere from $1 to $5. You're not expecting it to be the best quality. If you use it for a week or two and it breaks, you're like, it was $1, right? That totally makes sense. But if you're going to spend $100 on something, this product is $100. You want it to work. You want it to do things. Like if you're a savvy online consumer, you're not going to go to Amazon and spend $100 on a product that has a 1.8 out of 5 stars. And even on Amazon, it has a 3.7. But if you go down, there's a lot of bad reviews, and the good reviews are sketchy at best. It's probably ambassadors of this. And it's just like it's a chain that's meant to be a little sneaky, right? The person who I know that promotes this product, every time they do that, there's always comments under it. This thing works. This is amazing. This is an amazing product. And you click on those profiles, those people work for that company. It's just like confirmation bias, right? They're there to give a positive review for other people to see, but little does everybody know they have a vested interest in this as well. So it's just a compounding kind of scenario, right? This is 100% a pyramid scheme. Once a product has ambassadors that sell it, and not like you go to AT&T and there's sales reps, and you go to Foot Locker and there's salespeople. Obviously, those are not pyramid schemes, but when you have somebody who's promoting and selling a fitness product and they have no affiliation with anything fitness whatsoever, and they're promising other people financial freedom by potentially selling this product, those are red flags after red flags after red flags that are going up and should tell you that this is probably a product that you should avoid. So, just be aware when you're out there and you feel like you want to buy something. Try to go a little deeper, dig a little bit deeper, and hopefully you don't fall victim to any pyramid schemes or any scam products, anything like that. And last but not least, we're at 26 minutes, so I'm going to wrap it up here. The second thing that I want to talk about today is there was another influencer that I talked about a few episodes back, and this particular influencer was on their Instagram stories, and they were recently sponsored by a meal prep company. And this person said, I started the cut meal prep, so they're trying to lose a little bit of weight. And I love the meals that they're giving me, right? They're pre-prepared meals. They get sent to them. They just heat them up or whatever, and they're good to go. They don't have to cook. They don't have to do anything. And this particular person was on this Instagram story like, oh my God, I love my meal preps. I get to eat all the foods I love. They said I can eat chicken, rice, steak, salads, and Rice Krispie treats. And I'm like, what? You like to eat chicken, rice, steak, and salad all the time? And Rice Krispie treats is like the one thing you enjoy eating? So they're pushing this narrative that like they really enjoy eating this stuff. And they really might. If that's your thing and you really enjoy those things, these really healthy things, by all means, go for it, right? And then they went on to say, this meal prep even allows me to have croutons and cucumbers in my salad. And I'm like, what is going on, right? If you really, truly enjoy those things, you are in a really, really good spot because you're going to really thrive. If you enjoy healthy foods, you're going to have no problem adhering to a diet. But for most people, if somebody is advertising a meal prep company and they say you're going to eat the foods that you want to eat, you can have cucumbers in your salad, you can be like, I don't want that. Like, I want to have a Ben and Jerry's. Like, I know for me in particular, there's I'll eat the chicken or the rice. I'm not a big salad person. I don't like cucumbers. Croutons, not a big salad person. Rice Krispie treats are okay, but that's like a fake dessert. So finding a balance, I just thought it was funny, finding a balance in your diet to eat the things that you enjoy, but still be in a calorie deficit if you want to lose weight, or be in calorie maintenance if you want to maintain your weight. Whatever it is, find a way to enjoy it and still make progress. This person's like, I'm enjoying my meal because I get to put cucumbers in my salad. That's not how that works, girl. If that's what you really enjoy, by all means, that's perfect for you. But for most people out there, that's not joy. You're not going to be happy on that. It's going to be really hard for you to maintain that for a long, long time. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm running late. Weekly follow-up as always. Just an opportunity for me to go back last week's episode and see if there's anything I missed. Last week's episode was obviously debunking Down to Earth with Zac Efron, and I think I went over everything pretty well. But the one thing that I want to reiterate is the fact that I really kind of push this idea that most people find their actual fitness groove somewhere in the middle, right? There's extremes. Keto is an extreme, vegan is an extreme, but most people live in the middle. And I just want to say that just because I say that doesn't mean you have to be in the middle. If you want to be on one of those extremes, if keto really works for you, if being vegan really works for you, it's perfectly fine to be on those sides of extremes. You don't even have to be in the middle. You could lean more to one side than the other. Just find your respective spot on the spectrum that's going to work for you and that's going to be best for you. Doesn't matter where it is, regardless of what I say. So if you're in the middle, a lot of you are going to be in the middle. The majority of you are going to be in the middle. That's perfect. If you're on one of the ends, that's perfect too, as long as you make progress and you do it in a way that's enjoyable and sustainable for you. That's the most important thing. And I'm going to wrap up today's show. If you enjoyed today's show, hit the subscribe button. Leave me a comment. Leave me a review. Share the podcast with somebody who you think might enjoy it. Maybe. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit one of the 2 recommended videos here. I think you would enjoy them if you haven't seen them already. Subscribe button right here. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Other than that, follow me on Instagram, Made to Excel Fitness, or follow me on Instagram at MTEFit. Email me Q&A questions at madetoexcelfitness@gmail.com. I appreciate you all. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
What's up, Mark? How you doing, man? Hunter Henry, LA Charger tight end. Best big time shout out to your fitness podcast, the Made to Excel Fitness podcast. So super cool, man. Got a lot going on. Bolt ganger, don't bang.